When we're dividing polynomials with more than one term, we use long division, much as we do in arithmetic. If a polynomial is missing any term in the dividend, which that's the case here, we have x to the third, but there is no x to the second power, we will use a 0 for the coefficient of that missing power. So setting this up in our long division form, we have x to the third. There is no x to the second, and so that I don't change any value, I'll put a coefficient of 0 on that x squared term. And then we have x to the first power and our constant term. So this is equivalent to the dividend that we started out with, but this is going to act as a placeholder, and you'll soon see why we do this. So to do the division, we start with our highest power here, determine what it needs to be multiplied to give us the first term. To get our x up to x to the third, we need to multiply it by x to the second. X to the second times x is x to the third. This multiplication needs to be distributed over our divisor. So -2 times x squared, and there it is. We have a place for that term. If we hadn't put that placeholder, we would have had things not as neat and lined up. Next, we always subtract, but to make this subtraction easier and less chance of having an error, change the subtraction into addition of the opposite of what we're subtracting. So our x to the third will become a negative, and our negative here will become a positive. Then we're adding x to the third plus a negative x to the third cancel out. 0 plus 2x squared leaves 2x squared. Bring down the next term in order of our variables, and back we go. What does x need to be multiplied to give us 2x to the second? Well, we certainly need a 2 to bring our coefficient up to 2. And to bring our power up to x squared, x will have to be multiplied by x. Taking that quantity, 2x times each of the terms, we have 2x times x is 2x to the second power. And 2x times -2, a positive times a negative is a negative. 2 times 2 is 4 with the x. We're now ready to subtract as we do in long division, but instead of subtraction, turn it into addition of the opposite of what we have. So our first term becomes a negative, our second term becomes a positive, the opposite of what they originally were, using the rule for subtraction. Now we're ready to add. The x squared terms are opposites, they cancel out, and a -1 plus 4 is 3x. We have one more term to come down, and back we go. What times x will give us a 3x? We need a 3 positive. Take that 3 times each of your terms in your divisor. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times -2 is -6. We're subtracting. Subtraction is the same as adding the opposite. So our positive 3x becomes negative. Our negative becomes a positive. And when we add, you can see these cancel out and that our divisor goes in evenly since there is a remainder of 0. We can always check a division problem by taking our quotient and multiplying it by a divisor. Should generate back the product of the dividend. Something for you to try once you shut this video off.